Welcome to the ultimate guide to IELTS speaking. Well, today in this video, we're going to talk about 7 top secret tips that IDP or anyone else don't want you to know. Well, before we get into the video, if you're not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, and anytime you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance. You can check the information in the description of this video. We have left a WhatsApp link. You can click on the link, send us a message. I'll be there, we will be there to help you guide in the right direction. Alright, without further delay, let's try to get right into the video. The first top secret is content is of no use to get that band 7 or band 8 or band 9. Remember this, because in your evaluation guide, meaning the evaluation criteria, the IDP has listed on what parameters you will be evaluated with. The number 1 is fluency and the coherence. Second is pronunciation. Third is grammar. Fourth is vocabulary. Only these 4, but where is the content? The content is not even there in the evaluation criteria. Meaning, can I simply speak something else using template, some generic sentence? Of course not. You will not be able to do that, because it is not a computer sitting on the other hand. It is the human, correct? So you need to say something relevant to the question, but the point is you don't have to give that priority. You don't have to consider speaking a great idea over a wrong idea or an average idea. It is not going to make any difference towards your scores. Please be sure of it. When they ask you the question, use your entire brain capacity to give the right fluency, coherence, grammar and vocabulary, and don't use your brain's capacity entirely to give a perfect content. Meaning, if you use this completely to give the content, you will not have anything left over here to focus on the other parameters. But the other parameters are the one that gives you mark. It's not the content. It's always the fluency, coherence, grammar, vocabulary and pronunciation over the content. So let's see a small demonstration. Let's say this is the question: do you have a sweet tooth? Let's assume that you don't know the meaning of sweet tooth. In such a scenario, what I can do? Sweet is with respect to food. So anything you talk about food should be fine, but you need to articulate it. You need to structure them very smartly. Let me just show you the right answer whenever you're stuck with the meaning of few words. Well, I'm not exactly sure what sweet tooth means. However, if you are asking about my eating habits, I can tell you that I enjoy variety of foods. I like different cuisines and flavors. For instance, I really enjoy spicy dishes and also love a good hearty meal with lots of vegetables. Well, something like this, if I speak to, I get marks 100%, yes. But it's not about just having this alternative version. You got to be rhythmic when you speak. What constitutes your fumbles? What constitutes your hesitance? Very simple. When you make that those kind of sounds, or when you stutter, stammer, for example, all those constitute problem to your fluency. What you got to do is go at a steady pace. See the examiner with an intention of having a very friendly conversation. Keep smiling around. Don't sow a negative seed, and just be comfortable at a particular pace you usually talk to your friends. Choose a speed you're comfortable with. Don't have to go fast, don't have to go slow, and just be rhythmic in your speech. And on top of this, when you narrate it like the way I have given here, the first thing is, well, I'm not exactly sure what a sweet tooth means. However, that's where the narration is opening up. However, if you're asking about my eating habits, I can tell you that I enjoy variety of foods. I like trying different cuisines, for instance. So I'm giving main idea, supporting idea, examples. So there is a narration. So all these contribute marks. It's not simply about speaking something else. No, when you speak something else, make sure your speech is in line with the fluency aspects of it, coherence aspects of it, pronunciation meaning clarity aspects of it, grammar aspects of it, vocabulary aspects of it. Remember this. The top secret number 2 is make sure you convey and narrate. Don't just list down the points. See, what constitutes a lot of marks is your coherence, cohesion and the fluency. People completely forget this and think of giving as many ideas as possible. Like I just explained you, the top secret number 1, wherein the content is not given any priority, correct? Give your complete brain's usage to giving that perfect coherence, cohesion. Now, what is this coherence, cohesion? You got to narrate it. See, this video has a narration. In the beginning, I gave some intro, and then I picked up top secret 1, and then I'm picking up top secret 2. In the end, I'll conclude with the top secret 7. before making a next video. So there is a structure. So you got to have a structure in your speech while this matters the most. So let me just give you a demonstration. If this is the question, can you describe a hobby you enjoy. So what is the best way to put it out? Don't just keep listing down the hobbies. I play this, I do that, I do this, I like to do this. No, there is a way to do it. You got to start with the main idea and then continue talking about it, paraphrasing, and then give an instance or continue talking about one more hobby. There is a structure that you need to adapt to, and you have to convey or narrate. Don't just speak or list down the points. Let's see the correct answer for this. One of my favorite hobbies is gardening. There I gave my favorite hobby. Post that I'm starting every morning. Now, how do I do the gardening is what I'm paraphrasing from the very first statement. Every morning I spend about an hour tending to my plants, and I continue saying, I start by checking the soil moisture and watering the plants that I need. Now the paraphrasing is done. Now I'm going to give an instance. What all, the crops or what are flowers or plants that I grew recently is what an instance that, takes it forward, right? For example, I have a rose bush that I planted 2 years ago. It was just a beautiful sapling when I got it, but now it has grown into a beautiful blossoming bush with vibrant red flowers. Well, something like this is what I need. If you carefully observe the first line, it starts with one of my favorite topics. This is answer to the point. Every morning, that's the continuation of the first point, that is supporting idea. Then, for example, will come instance. I'm giving at least 1 or 2 sentences to give the proper instance. This is what coherence, cohesion is, and this is what is given top priority that nobody wants you to know. Simply mugging up the repeated questions is of no use unless the repeated question have a structure. The answers that you already have memorized should have a structure. If they do not have a structure, then you end up just changing the coaching centers, but your marks will not be changed. The marks will be stuck at 5.5 or 6. Remember this. So let's also give a version of the answer which actually absolutely doesn't score anything. Can you describe a hobby you enjoy? This is a typical answer any student would give who doesn't have knowledge about the coherence cohesion. Yes, I enjoy gardening. I water the plants, check for pests and see how they grow. I have a rose bush that has grown a lot. Gardening makes me feel peaceful and connected to nature. See, this is a representation of one dot, one dot, one dot. It's just putting all the dots. It's like it has all the ideas. You gotta connect the dots. That connection is completely missing, and connection is what gives you mark. It is not the ideas, it's not the dots. It's how you connect the ideas. How will you convey the ideas? That's why people say when you speak, don't just speak, rather convey. When you convey, the listener try to understand what you speak, meaning you try to pitch into his mind and then decide, okay, probably I should put it this way so that he understands. When he understands, that's what it's called conveying. Here you need to convey whatever you speak. The examiner has to understand. Keep this in mind. Top secret number 3, try to use varied vocabulary. Well, vocabulary has its own significance in your IELTS speaking scores. It's not a very top priority compared to your fluency, coherence, and the clarity or the grammar. But yes, vocabulary plays its own role. If you want above 7.5, meaning 8 or 8.59, then you need to have this varied vocabulary. If you want just 7 or 7.5, it's fine. You can just go with whatever the vocabulary you're comfortable with. So let's see a demonstration as to what this varied or diverse vocabulary means. So this is the question, what do you like to do in your free time? This is the question. A varied vocabulary response would sound something like this. In my free time, I absolutely love to indulge in reading. There's something magical, that's one of the words, about getting lost, that's one of the words, in a gripping novel, that's one of the words, where the author weaves intricate plots and fascinating characters. Besides reading, I also enjoy cooking. Experimenting with different cuisines and creating delectable dishes is a delightful way to unwind. So what is making this more appealing? If you pay more attention to it, it is not just the nouns or the verbs, it is the modifiers that come right behind them. Place. Oh, it's a mesmerizing place. The modifier. So all these will actually appeal, correct? All this give that appealing feel. So if you see here, I absolutely love. Indulge in is a collocation. There's something magical about getting lost in a gripping novel. Gripping novel, you could have told novel, but we are using a word gripping novel. So here we said author weaves plots, intricate plots. Intricate is something very complex like this. You got to be really there to understand what it is. So it arouses the curiosity. And fascinating characters. Characters was fine, but we are using fascinating. getting it right. So all this will actually make it more appealing. You yourself wouldn't know, but you'll be making a very good speech at the end of the day with just using some modifiers like this. Besides reading, I also enjoy cooking, different cuisines, delectable dishes rather, delightful way to unwind. So all these are the varied vocabulary that we're talking about. One of the ways to make your speech more appealing is to use some good modifiers or adjectives. Work on this every day whenever you talk to your friend. Make sure to add some good adjective. For a period of 1 week or 2 weeks, you do this, automatically you end up using some good adjectives over the time, and that will become a habit. And IELTS speaking is nothing when you're already habituated to such a vocabulary in your everyday life. So let's also see another demonstration which do not show the varied vocabulary concepts. Let's check it out. In my free time, I like, that's one of the common usage, reading books because I find it interesting. I also like cooking because I enjoy trying new recipes. For example, last weekend I made, not prepared, I cooked, and it was fun. It was really enjoyable. Could have used some other words. I like nature, so I often go hiking and walking on the beach. These activities make me feel relaxed and happy. This is not bad. If you want 6.57, you can still go with it. May not be 7, but 6.5 definitely yes. But if you need 7 and above or 7.5, then something like this will definitely not work. Hope you understand the significance of the adjectives or the modifiers. Avoid repetition of the words whenever, wherever possible. The top secret number 4 is to have a mixture of simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence. What a normal student, a newbie student would end up thinking, or my response, I need to make it so complex, I need to make it very lengthy sentences, then only I get the marks. Absolutely no, all these are just assumptions. Every sentence has its own significance in IELTS speaking. Something really important, bring it on in a very simple sentence. Otherwise, if you're mixing it up in a very big sentence, the information is lost. Correct? Examples or supporting ideas, you can put it in compound or complex sentences. Small things, the main ideas, put it in a very simple sentence, a short sentence possible. In a way, you need to have a mixture of all these three so that your grammar score goes up. This is the top secret number 4. Let's understand a demonstration. So this is the question, can you describe your favorite holiday destination? A perfect response would sound something like this. My favorite holiday destination is Japan. See, the main idea, I'm going to put it in a very simple sentence possible, because otherwise the information will be lost. The country offers a unique blend of traditional culture and modern technology, which, this is a complex sentence, makes it incredibly fascinating. I visited Tokyo, which, again a complex sentence, bustling metropolis, and Kyoto, this is a compound sentence known for its serene temples and beautiful gardens. When I was in Tokyo, when, complex sentence. If, though, although, in spite of, despite, whenever, wherever, all these are complex sentences. Although, though, even though, I explored various neighborhoods such as this and this, where, complex sentence. We are mixing both compound, complex, sometimes compound, complex, complex, compound, and simple sentence. This is how it should look like. This is how it should sound like in your exam. So let's also see a demonstration which doesn't in any way depict the mixture of simple, compound, and complex sentences. For the same question, a typical answer would look something like this. My favorite destination is Japan. Simple sentence. The country offers a unique blend of traditional culture and modern technology. Simple sentence. This and is not a connector to make it a compound sentence. This is conjunction. It's like Ram and Sita, that conjunction. This makes it incredibly fascinating. I visited Tokyo. It was a bustling metropolis. All are simple sentences, or there could be another instance where people end up using all compound, complex sentences. You need to have a mixture of them so that you definitely end up getting a very good score in your next attempt. The top secret number 5 is to speak slowly. Remember this. Speaking fast will not give you anything, will not reap you any benefits. It's just in your mind, you tend to assume that if I speak fast, I get more marks. The fluency would be better in terms of scoring. Absolutely no. Fluency has no relevance with respect to the speed of the speech. Fluency has relevance only with respect to the rhythm. If you just properly pay attention to the way I'm speaking, I'm going real slow, but at the same time, I'm trying to speak as continuous as possible at a proper rhythm as possible. This is enough. You don't have to speak full fast, no. And the problems that occur when you go fast, first thing is you rush for the thoughts. When you speak fast, this also should work faster, isn't it? This is ready, the tongue is ready to speak fast, twist and puzzle or whatever it wants, it is ready to do it now, but the thoughts are not ready. This is slow. When this is slow, This cannot handle this. The tongue doesn't have intelligence, it's the brain. You need to send the thoughts quickly when you're speaking fast, which is quite possible, I'm not denying it. But in doing so, people end up making mistakes. You have to channelize your thoughts. For that, you need to have that time. You need to go slow. If you go fast, you will rush all the thoughts at once to your tongue, which is not at all intelligent. As a result, tongue, what it does, all this thing just crop up. The only way you can fix this is to become more calmer, have patience, and channelize the thoughts one behind the another. Let it go slow, let it just flow. Don't have to worry about speaking very fast. You go slow, but try to address the things in a more rhythmic way. This is what fluency is. It is not at all about speaking very fast. The top secret number 6 is, if you don't understand the question or need pointers, don't hesitate. You can definitely ask the examiner in a nicest way possible. Let me just give you a small demonstration. So if this is the question, what are your thoughts on the impact of globalization on the local culture? Let's say you're not understanding the meaning of impact of globalization on local culture. It's absolutely fine to ask a question or request more pointers in a more nicer way, like the way I've shown in my screen. Could you please clarify what you mean by impact of globalization on local cultures? You can end it up, or if you want, you can continue. Are you referring to how cultural practices are influenced by the global trends? If you want, you can still continue saying, I want to ensure that I understand the question correctly, so I can provide a relevant answer. If you could give me a little bit of more information or detail or as an example, that would be really helpful. No need to speak this big, short and sweet. 1 line or 2 line is absolutely enough. And the examiner is bound to give you the correct answer that you ask for. The top secret number 7, the last top secret, is about cue card. Make sure to speak about the background information, the present information, and the future information, only for the fact that your cue card response is being evaluated closely on coherence cohesion. Coherence cohesion, when you talk about background information, present and future, you already will have a structure. Plus, it will also be evaluated strictly on your grammar. Your grammar is to see if the student can use different tenses in a speech, meaning is he really comfortable with speaking in a past tense, past perfect tense, past continuous tense, present perfect tense, or the future perfect, future tense, simple future, future continuous. So not necessarily every tense. There are 12 tenses. At least you exhibit some 4 or 5 tenses. At least 3 tenses is a must: past, present, and the future. And there you can have past continuous, past perfect, present continuous, or the future continuous, future perfect. Any one of these you mix, so that definitely will not regret trying all these things, because you definitely will be seeing a great score in your score report. So let's see a small demonstration. If the question is, describe a memorable holiday you have had or you have witnessed, we're going to divide this into 3 different segments. First is background information, meaning when did you plan for this, and then you come to the present, meaning in the past, but how was your destination or how was your holiday that you're going to express, and then you talk about the future, as to in the future which destination you want to go, something of that sort. So now let's see the correct response. One of my favorite memorable holidays I have had was a trip to Italy. I went, that's one of the tenses, simple past, with my family 3 years ago during the summer. We decided simple past because we were fascinated. It's a passive form of the past tense by its rich history, beautiful landscapes, and delicious cuisine. Background is done. Now we come into the topic, the holiday description. Well, it is already in the past, so we will continue the past. During the trip, we spent verb 2, where we explored these kind of places. Each day was filled, passive form of the past tense, with incredible sights and experiences. One of the highlights was again past tense. Visiting this place, seeing this masterpieces in person was breathtaking. We also enjoyed. So verb 2, mostly we have so far used only in the past tense. Present tense would be difficult because they've already asked you memorable holiday that you already visited. So present tense is difficult, totally fine, but let's talk about the future. Future information: this trip has inspired me to travel more and explore other parts of the world. Has inspired is a present perfect tense. The fact. In the future, I will plan, will is a futuristic thing, to visit other European countries like this and this, to continue experiencing different cultures and histories. Additionally, hope is always a future thing, yeah. I hope to return to Italy someday, perhaps to visit the northern regions like Venice and Milan, which I missed during my first trip. So remember to use all these 7 top secret things that they don't want you to know. Trust me, all this will definitely prove beneficial and help you get a magical score in your next attempt. So if you need an online assistance, you can always click on the link, send us a message. It's a paid assistance. We have produced so many students with 8, 8.5 or 9 bands even in IELTS speaking and IELTS writing 7.5, 7 and 8. So anytime you need the course, you can join us. You get one-to-one feedback for your writing, one-to-one feedback for your speaking, and a lot many things. Fine guys, with this I'll park it here. This is Nakul, Nakul, signing off from Skills IELTS. Soon we'll be back. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Thanks much.